Good morning, class 3 students and also parents. Class 3 mula pa, tuting le class 3, sapang ho, omega alkai ho zosi, na bon sabin singkapa. We are now going to have English 1, and your English 1 teacher, Miss Sanu, cannot take this class because this textbook is not present with her, as she is away from the school campus and she has no access to this textbook in her locality. That is why I am going to replace her. Your Miss Sanu, na Miss Sanu, it's a textbook here called Mam Lo Zun Tunia, he can ho English 1 teacher is on them, it's English 1 class he can learn he. And meanwhile, I request all the students to watch me very carefully, and parents, please enforce your children to watch at this video properly and strictly control them. I know you have finished your lesson 3, and since you're already in class 3, I'm not going to use much of our mother tongue, and I'm going to use English because I expect my class 3 students to understand English. Am I right? Yes. So, I understand that you have finished lesson 3, but let me just repeat for your betterment. And I want you to read with me as you are watching at this video. And please turn to your textbook English 1, chapter 3. Chapter 3. Well, it's not chapter 3. It is after chapter 2, I think, after chapter 2, you have a poem. This poem is Betty at the Party, okay? We'll see this Betty at the Party. So, is it clear in the video?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Now, you have to follow me as I read. And please try to read the way I read. Follow me. Betty at the party. Betty at the party. All right. Good. When I was at the party, said Betty, aged just 4. A little girl fell off her chair, right down upon the floor. And all the other little girls began to laugh, but me. I didn't laugh a single bit, said Betty seriously. Why not? Her mother asked her, full of delight to find that Betty, bless her little heart, had been so sweetly kind. Why didn't you laugh, my darling? Or don't you like to tell? I didn't laugh, said Betty, because it was I that fell. All right? Okay. Once again, please follow after me. Say after me. Betty at the party. Betty at the party. When I was at the party, said Betty, aged just 4. A little girl fell off her chair, right down upon the floor. And all the other little girls began to laugh but me. I didn't laugh a single bit. I didn't laugh a single bit. Say together. I didn't laugh a single bit, said Betty seriously. Repeat. Said Betty seriously. Why not? Her mother asked her, full of delight to find. Say again. Why not? Her mother asked her, full of delight to find that Betty, bless her little heart, that Betty, bless her little heart, had been so sweetly kind. Why didn't you laugh, my darling? Why didn't you laugh, my darling? Or don't you like to tell? Or don't you like to tell? I love, said Betty. I didn't love, said Betty. Because it was I that fell. Because it was I that fell. Alright, so, yes. Tua, kahin bang mga watu, pat pesanan simdiu, school imkay tiang ule, kay class 3 teacher kay lo wanga hi, kang lu ding test ka boarding, tua kahin tabang bang watu, nasay do tay tayo song. When you come to school, when the lockdown is released and the school is reopened, though I'm not your English teacher in class 3, but I will come to your class and I'm going to ask you and make sure that you read very, very nicely as I have read. Alright? And you also must memorize. You must memorize this. And I want you to memorize these, and I will have a test next week through online. And I want all the students to say these in memory, and all the parents, please take them video and send this to my number. Okay? Next week tiang le itahi tate on abahat so ke diu nule pate hon hoi ta nen sim sa diu video nen la yun to diu he. Okay. I believe your Miss Senu had already explained these in your class, so I don't want to take much time to explain, but let me just go directly to the question. Okay, the question here, comprehension, and please take it here. All right. Okay. So now we are going to. All right. All right, so here in this one, today is day 21 for 2020, Betty at the party, and today is Tuesday. Question number 1. Who was Betty? Betty was a little girl who fell off her chair. And when you read, you have to read exactly as I read, okay? And please copy down this. Who was Betty? Betty was a little girl who fell off her chair. Question number 2. Who was she talking to? She was talking to her mother. 3. Where did she go? She went to the party. 4. Why were the other girls laughing? The other girls were laughing because she fell off her chair. 5. Why didn't Betty laugh? Betty didn't laugh because it was she who fell off the chair. Okay? Yes. Now, I'm going to send this in the group. Don't worry. And please copy down. Now you say after me. After you copy down. To I copy down. Say after me. Who was Betty? Who was Betty? Betty was a little girl who fell off her chair. Say again. Betty was a little girl who fell off her chair. Don't say, who was Betty? Betty was a little girl who fell off her chair. No. No. Who was Betty? Betty was a little girl who fell off her chair. No. Who was Betty? Betty was a little girl who fell off her chair. Who was she talking to? She was talking to her mother. Where did she go? She went to the party. Why were the other girls laughing? The other girls were laughing because she fell off her chair. Why didn't Betty laugh? Betty did laugh because it was she who fell off the chair. Hitabang mga tsu smart as I say, my class is not only the text of the subject, but it's always spoken and grammar, leadership, everything is involved. class skill no CI spoken English leadership to tell a text long so quite that heading what is three things involved in it. How many minutes gone?
10, 12.
10, 12. Okay. I can still go to till 12 minutes. All right. Say after me again. Who was Betty? Please just take on this one. All right. Okay. Yeah. Who was Betty? Betty was a little girl who fell off her chair. Who was she talking to? She was talking to her mother. Where did she go? She went to the party. Why were the other girls laughing? The other girls were laughing because she fell off her chair. Why didn't Betty laugh? Betty didn't laugh because it was she who fell off the chair. Okay? And let me teach you how to study. Who was Betty? Betty was a little girl who fell off the chair. Who was Betty? Betty was a little girl who fell off her chair. Who was she talking to? Who was talking to? She was talking to her mother. No, not like that. Not like that. My Omega students don't study like that, okay? So how do you study? Don't read loud. Read slow. Who was Betty? Betty was a little girl who fell off her chair. Who was Betty? Betty was a little girl who fell off her chair. Yes. Who was she talking to? She was talking to her mother. It's very simple. She was talking to her mother. Where did she go? She went to the party. Why were the other girls laughing? The other girls were laughing because she fell off her chair. Why didn't Betty laugh? Okay. Why were the other girls laughing? The other girls were laughing because she fell off. The other girls were laughing. The other girls were laughing because she fell off her chair. Why didn't Betty laugh? Betty didn't laugh because it was she who fell off the chair. Betty didn't laugh because it was she who fell off her chair. Yes, I got it. I can now memorize. All right? Why didn't Betty laugh? Betty didn't laugh because why didn't Betty laugh? Betty didn't laugh because it was she who fell off the chair. No. Okay, you got it. I'll see you after 3 days in this English 1 class. Your Miss Sanu has no access to your textbook, so during this lockdown, I'm going to take this English 1. So, meanwhile, please study. Mula patehon, sa ato lekhan simsa walang badatan. Poetry hi abay hadiu. It's poetry hi abay hadiu. So kasi mga abay hadiu. Tua question hi. It's hi kain khading. It's hi nakinam tinidu ba? Adala na memorize. Oh, bye.